Yeah, y'all know what it is. It's your boy Hakeem Green, channel live and direct, BDP all day, every day. All we do is spark, mad, ism. What up, Big West?
What's going on, Hawk?
I see you in the vehicle right now, pushing it.
Pushing it to Jerry World, pushing it to Jerry World.
Jerry World,
Yeah.
no doubt. You be safe on the road while we doing this show.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? So with that said, you know what we do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna put this joint on right fast. We're gonna get to liking, sharing, subscribing, hit that bell on YouTube so you can get the alerts. Facebook, make sure you join the madism.info page. And yeah, that's what we doing. We got my man Dennis L.A. White gonna come on a little later and kick it with us. You know, D-Rock in the Notorious Big movie, for those who don't know. It's the homie. He gonna come in, we're gonna chop it up. But for now, let's get to it. Yeah. Since y'all like jewels, I'ma drop a jewel. Makes the money, rappers act like fools. The blind lead the blind, we all blinded by the shine. Bad boys dying like Biggie just to go to jail like Shine. I ain't got to diss rappers, these rappers diss they self. Ride with Donald Trump like they ain't got knowledge of they self. Knowledge as well, but I keep that thing up on the shelf. Jacob make you freeze, but the feds will make you melt. Everybody want the belt, who want the crown in New York? Everything sound like Atlanta, the world clown in New York. They call me niggas the most high, my niggas be the most high. Cause we stay burning bush like Mount Sinai. Soldiers don't die, gangsters don't cry, but when rappers get killed, they go to the place where people lie. 85 is civilized, 10% capitalized, while others realize hip-hop is in disguise.
Bringing back that old New York rap. Bringing back that old New York rap. Bringing back that old New York rap. Bringing back that old New York rap.
Nowadays, niggas don't want the real hip-hop. They rather hear that shit meant to kill hip-hop. Who deal around the clock, who ill with the Glock. 10 years done past, you still on the block. You still selling rocks, serving fiends non-stop. You worse than a snitch, nigga, you dealing for the cops. Niggas lay traps, then scream trap or die. Like, all we got is that, or we can stay black and die. And relaxing with the lie, but the facts won't lie. Another rapper died, everybody asks why. Take some chump change, get yourself a chump chain. Go juice a little crew, have them pump cane. You can G off with the rap, but you gotta master that. Don't try to drop no science, you better all pump and crack. Serving Mr. Magic Friday nights rap attacks. Ain't it somehow a Jersey nigga bringing New York back?
Bringing back that old New York rap. Bringing back that old New York rap. Bringing back that old New York rap. Bringing back that old New York rap.
Y'all can't even front, yo. That's my joint. Literally. I really, really like that joint, man. And the whole project. The whole project's called Nami. 5 songs, little EP I did with my homie Big French. Big shout out to him. He did all 5 joints. Got New York rap, Now and Then, Love and Hip Hop, Son of God, Can I Eat? And that's off the Nah Mean project. Nah Mean? Nah Mean. Spliff Daddy.
Nah Mean. What's good, fellas?
Oh,
What's
man.
good,
All is good. All is good. So, since we on the point of Nah Mean, let me just say something. Nah Mean? Nah Mean?
Oh yeah, the Cappy Cap.
Nah Mean?
Yeah. Cap. Any word on how the trial went though? Do we know?
West?
Yes, it went well.
Okay.
It went well. They said he impressed.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So before we take the deep dive, our special guest just hopped in the building, so we want to bring him on. It's the homie, actor, producer, educator, Mr. Dennis L.A. White. Peace to the God.
Peace. What up? Thanks for
So
having
wait,
me.
So are you is it Dennis L.A. White or Dennis
Yeah.
B.K. White?
Nah.
Dennis
LA White.
You got the Brooklyn joint going on right there.
Yo, LA is my middle initials. On my birth certificate, real life.
Got you.
Brooklyn is my heart, though.
Yeah, I always thought LA was because you was from LA.
Nah, man. Nah.
Not
my birth certificate.
Oh wow, it's the official tissue. I got you. Nah, man. Well, welcome to Matters with Sports. Got the homie Wes Henderson, my brother Cliff Allen. Hopefully we'll have Dr. Coach Eric Harriel should be joining the conversation a little bit. And we've been doing this like the last almost 2 years.
Okay.
Weekly. We take a little hiatus during the summer when the basketball season ends and we start back up for football season. But this is episode 71.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we want to thank you for being a part of this IZM SPORTS movement. And with that said, we was just talking about the brother Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, hold on for a second before I go there. I'm speeding. First of all, tell the people who you are and give us a little rundown on your history so folks know what it is.
All right. Okay. So my name is Dennis L.A. White. I'm an actor. I've been in this business for well over 20 years. I used to do music under the guise of Dennis the Menace. But I've been in over like 50 movies and TV shows from Atlanta, Parenthood, The Family Business. Recently was on BT. And people know me as D-Rock for the Biggie movie, Secrets. I've been in a lot of projects. I direct, I produce films. I'm also a professional acting coach for, working actors and aspiring actors. I'm a writer, and I'm a sports aficionado. I love sports, and I love debating with Hakeem. So
I think we all got that in common.
You're not alone. Some other things you got in common with the host panel, and we'll get to that. A little later. But once again, welcome. We got Dr. Coach Eric Harriel in the building.
Peace, gentlemen.
What up, Coach?
What's happening,
Coach? Yeah, man. So with that said, Colin Kaepernick started working out with the Vegas Raiders today. They're taking a look, and Wes was saying how well he did. So Wes, if you want to continue.
Oh no, I just got a quick bite that he had his tryout today, and he had a lot of heads turning, and it was a good showing for him.
Bless you.
Real good showing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's great.
I think they'll probably take advantage of, if nothing else, the marketing and the revenue of jersey sales, because that's going to go through the roof once that happens. And his backups, I mean, basically, if you're trying to get your best 53, you can't tell me he's not better than Nick Mullins.
Oh, he's better than Nick Mullins.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a win-win, and you know how the Raiders do it. And they released some tape of, I guess, the owners back in 2017 endorsing the coaches on allowing, open for, giving Kaepernick a spot. You know what I'm saying? But that was all in the Gruden's regime. You know what I'm saying? So that wouldn't happen.
I just think that because of so much as time has gone by, that it's a great space for him to try for the NFL again. I just didn't really appreciate even us knowing about this. I think it should have been a closed tryout. I think it should have been more under wraps. I wasn't too happy even about when he did the open tryout in Atlanta. I think it was last year, year before.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was really,
year and a half.
it wasn't. I don't think it was as sincere as it should have been. I think like it's a time and space where he needs to kind of move in silence, get a deal, sign a contract, sign on to the Raiders, and then everything else comes into play because he's going to be totally criticized and critiqued for everything. And so I just think if his goal is to get into the NFL, then it needs to be that and not with any other hooplas around there.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from, D. But I also, it seems as if this is the Raiders putting it out more so than him putting it out.
No, I know, I get it. I'm not even saying he's doing it. I'm saying period.
Period. Yeah, and I see where you're coming from. I definitely see where you're coming from. E, you want to say something? You want to hop in?
Yeah, no, I just think the Raiders historically have been the rebels of the league. Mm-hmm. So it's the right team to do this and the right fit. Just what they've been known for since Al Davis had the Raiders, now his son. But Dennis, I think you make a really valid point. You know, he should really move in silence. You know, get on the roster, everything, you know, pen to paper, and then, you know, go ahead and let whatever is to be. Yeah. But I think this is the shot. You know, I think we said weeks ago it was either going to be the Raiders or Pittsburgh. Those were the two spots. Yeah. Outside of that, it wasn't going to happen if it ever happened.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that, you know, trying to separate yourself from John Gruden and giving yourself a good look in that regards may be a part of it?
Definitely marketing move.
Marketing.
Absolutely.
They wanted the Raiders wanted to release that and spearhead this to get a head of steam. So when they do sign him again, merchandise sales. It's all about dough. How much money you gonna bring in? You know what I'm saying?
And this takes them away from the Gruden debacle.
Again, the Gruden thing is in court right now. So they, you know, there's been, you know, news about that. So this comes at the right time for them because it kind of takes people away from looking at what's going on with Gruden because he's in the process of getting ready to sue the Raiders and the NFL.
Yeah, and a federal judge just denied the NFL's request to dismiss. Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting.
So it was probably calculated that they wanted this news to come out to kind of get the you know the stain of Gruden out the media for them anyway.
You know, it's just crazy because when we go back to think about the ramifications of Colin Kaepernick, I mean, dude didn't sell no crack. He didn't have a bunch of strippers. He wasn't, you know, coked up. He didn't have all, you know, steroids in the system. He didn't beat nobody up. He just took a knee. He didn't even say nothing. He just took a knee. And they're so afraid of our power that, you know, he was banished. And, you know, I just, you know, I have a lot of criticism for those in the media that criticize him in any capacity, You know, I'm not a proponent of him. I don't know. I've never met the dude before in my life, but for him to be ostracized for just wanting to take a knee is crazy.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. It is.
It's when we see, you know, to your point, the politics that are in play and have always been in play, but it was just more pronounced because of Trump. That, you know, his protest directly towards law enforcement, and then how they use law enforcement as a red herring for anything Black Power. They throw law enforcement in there and protecting cops, and so it just felt like they used his kneeling as a direct assault towards law enforcement and the military. And then you got the owners. You already know whose side they on. Yeah, you got Trump talking to Jerry going out on a limb for Trump. You know, it's just the politics at play. You see it, but now that we've seen 4 years of Trump, we see what's going on with these mass shooters. We see what continued to happen with law enforcement, you know, police brutality. It's like in so many ways, Colin Kaepernick has been vindicated without even having to play.
Yeah.
And there's an argument, does playing diminish his point, his initial stance?
No, I don't think at all. But
I think now it validates it now.
Yeah, it definitely validates it. But you know, another point is how much they've still stripped them of, you know, those years of production. I mean, if he comes back and he's even a shell of himself, I mean, hats off to him because he's 6 years out of the game.
Mhm.
You know, the average cat, even the average football player, that's not easy to do.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
the average cat don't even get 6 years in the game.
That-
So
yeah,
you know,
That's true.
they took 6 prime years from him.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting, and like I can't wait to see how this unfolds. I'm hoping for the best, but in good old America,
No, it's
I
gonna
mean,
be.
he'll be better than Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
say it again.
He'll be better than Sam Darnold.
He'll be better than a lot of jokers that got jobs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and while he's not worried about Carr's not worried about his job, the NFL cats get hurt. So I would love to see Cat, be a backup, and he'll get time from injury or whatever. So it's just a matter of and I don't think they brought him in to take a look at it and highly publicize this for them not to sign him. So I think he'll be signed.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, he did lead a team to the Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah.
And back-to-back NFC championships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost the Super Bowl by a yard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally lost the Super Bowl by a yard. And lost that NFC championship game with a tip pass.
Yep.
So he's got the skills. It's just a matter of the opportunity and age and rust. Whether he's able to shake it off. Now, Dennis, who is your squad football wise? Who's your football team?
Y'all gonna hate me, man. Yeah, you guys gonna hate me, but I'm used to the hate. I'm a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh no, that's all right here. And you're not a Cowboys fan, so you are.
No,
It's
no,
all
not
good.
at all. Not at all. I'm a
You
Patriots.
got the Cowboy fans on top.
Nah, I just love.
I'm about to be a Raider fan. I don't know what y'all talking about. I got a
So
lot.
I grew up in the Bay Area, so I love the Raiders and 49ers, but I'm a Patriots fan. I love their work ethic. I love just how resilient they are, and they watch out for us this year.
Now, when did you become a Patriots fan? Because I remember in the 70s and 80s, it was trash. 90s trash.
You know what? When Bledsoe was helming, that's when I really started watching them.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can see that. It's funny because when Bledsoe got hurt and Tom Brady came in, right? This is when we had the crib on Washington Avenue 5. I think it's right around time. I think we may have met, Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
But when Brady went in and watching how he performed, I'm like, he gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And everybody laughed at me. Are you balling? Do you know when he was drafted? He just there's a placeholder for Dread Blue. So I said, nah, dude, it's something about this guy. They're gonna stick with him. And he did his thing.
You gotta respect him, man. He's shown that he's the GOAT. He's the greatest quarterback of all time.
The Deflate Gate, Camera Gate, all them gates.
Hey.
Do what you got to do to win, man. Do what you got to do to win.
Yeah, nah. We're not mad at the Patriots. They got a great organization. Robert Kraft, we getting them happy ending. You know what I mean? Can't be mad at the Patriots. You know what I mean?
That's the secret.
Little fumble.
That's the secret of prosperity.
Little
Don't you
fumble.
perform better when you get a happy ending?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Championship level.
You want your ending to be as happy as possible.
Wow.
Shout out to Robert Kraft. You know what I mean? No doubt. So, all right, you guys want to move over to this NBA conversation going on? I mean, it's like, both series is like lopsided, depending on what day of the week you're on.
It's been pretty corny, actually. Not good basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it.
So?
I don't think the games have been competitive. Like really, you have spurts where Boston gave a good game when they made the comeback, but it was really like they've been really no drama at all. It's just wire to wire, pretty much. You know what's gonna happen.
Well, with the Boston series, when it was tied 2-2, they only won 2 quarters. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Yeah,
but
Miami
you
only
see
won
the,
2 quarters.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I think to this point, Miami's only won 2 quarters.
Might be
yeah,
right.
you may be
Like,
right.
yeah, to this point,
Yeah.
Miami's only won 2 quarters.
Because they lost
Oh, and I
wide
had
wide
a-
last game.
Maybe 3 quarters.
I had a message that was sent via. I don't know if you guys remember last year when we were on location in Myrtle Beach. We had a Celtic fan that stopped in and chatted with us last year,
Yeah.
and he said to let everybody on the panel know he was a year early because last year he said the Celtics are going to be where they are, and we kind of looked at him like he was crazy. But he said, just remind your panel that I'm a year early. I'm a year late. That's it. So,
But you just don't know what the
Yeah.
Heat and the Celtics. I mean, they've been going back and forth, and like you said, they all been kind of pretty much blowouts. And, you know, it's going to be tough, and I can't just give Boston the title yet, because Miami, you know, Jimmy Butler, hopefully he's healthier. Hopefully he's be able to play better, you know, but they have a great coach, a more experienced
They do.
coach. And you know, I think it's going to go 7 games. I went to as far as Dallas and Golden State. I went to the games
kind of like,
in Dallas.
I don't think the series is over. Like this week, I don't think it's over.
No. I think it's 7 games.
I don't know if they're gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna be Boston in Boston, bro.
Well, yeah, but they did it already, and
but after, I mean, it's like
Jimmy
Butler just don't look the same, and they're talking about his knee. He's having knee issues. You know,
Bam showed up two games ago. They need a good game out of Bam and another buckets game, and
somebody else got to come to the game.
Yeah,
Tyler Hero right now.
Tyler Hero has to step up.
Well, he didn't play last game. He was in street clothes.
Yeah.
Your man Kyle Lowry looked like the dope boy. I mean, he's not really. You know what I mean?
He always looked like that.
No, but he's playing like that. He had like he was 0 for everything. Like it's just not a good look. Oladipo, he looked off. He didn't really, you know, maybe he can come alive in Boston. I can't say I expect any of the role players to step up in Boston. I expect Jimmy to step up. I'm hoping Bam steps up, but then, you know, Strus, what he gonna give you? You know, he's 0 for the last 2 games.
I like Gabe Vincent too. I mean, I really think that Kyle Lowry shouldn't start. I think they play better when they have Gabe.
That's what I agree. I
agree.
Bring him off the bench, you know, let him bring some energy off the bench, but I don't think he's starting. He should be starting right now.
Where's Gabe Vincent from?
He was I think he was off the street. Like I don't even think
like,
he was drafted.
Okay.
Let's find out.
I like his game.
Yeah, I don't think he was drafted. I've been trying to figure out where he's from too, and I'm not interested enough in him to actually look it up. So
we're gonna find out right now.
He's
Nigerian. Yeah,
he's Nigerian national. He plays for the Nigerian national basketball team. Played college basketball for UC Santa Barbara Gauchos.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man.
So you know, he's Nigerian.
So
Gabe
Vincent might be on that team that Stephen A. Smith was ridiculing.
Ain't no telling. Stephen be doing the most.
Yeah. So all right. So what about this other series? You mean the State in the Mavs?
Gentlemen's sweep.
That series is a joke.
Yeah, gentlemen's sweep. They just gave him the one. I mean, because we've seen, even if Luka has a big game, those others have to really step up to stay to hang around those cats. And they had to shoot 22 threes to win the last game. So are they going to do that in Golden State? I think they may. You know, they'll get blown out tonight. They may score.
I definitely think it's a blowout tonight. And I think on Tuesday, I think everyone in the press conference was more concerned with the shooting in Texas, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But that was really on their mind. We know it was on Steve Kerr's mind, just knowing his background and what he's dealt with surrounding gun violence. But, you know, the players all mentioned it. Their heads weren't in the game. If they won, they won. If they didn't, all right, we up 3-0 anyway, so it didn't really matter. You know,
Well, I went to that game on Sunday in Dallas, and just to see the energy in there and to see Luka's a big dude. Like, he's not small. He goes hard. But I had a talk with Sean Bradley. I don't know if you guys remember Sean
Yeah,
Bradley.
of course. Yeah, man.
He was 7'6". You know, he got paralyzed 2021 in riding a bike in that accident. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so he's paralyzed and it's crazy. But we talked about Dallas and talked about Jason Kidd. And Jason Kidd was the perfect coach for Luka, to give him that point guard mentality, to teach him how to diversify things on the court. And you know, he's coming. You know, he's a couple pieces away.
Yep.
Yeah, we not that we're super critical of Luka, because we're not. We understand his greatness, but you know, we also understand that we make exceptions to rules sometimes, depending on, you know, variables that have nothing to do with the actual game itself. And we call people to task a little bit more than we do others. And we just want to see Luka, one, step up on defense, and two, you know, learn how to consistently get other players involved. And that's going to come with time. That's going to come with.
He don't have nobody on his squad. There's nobody on this team that's ever been an all-star. Who's been an all-star on Dallas Mavericks?
No, he has a real bum squad. He has a bum squad. Like,
what player on their team
squad
can go to another team and start and be a superstar in any other team? Nobody.
Well, not a superstar, but Brunson could be. And
Brunson is a backup point guard.
A backup.
Nah, I think he'll start
for the Knicks next year when they sign him, but he's a backup.
Yeah. I think he's good.
Dinwiddie only really played when guys was out injured and hurt. He's not a legit starter either.
But we have noticed that there are times when Luka's not playing, he's hurt or whatever the case may be, and the team itself plays better collectively than when Luka's on the floor. You know what I mean?
That's
so
coaching.
Okay, whatever it is, when I'm not doubting Luka, I'm just saying he's a 23-year-old that's been a professional for 9 years. So people say he's a young boy. Look, people, you can't have it both ways.
No, it's not. It's not about being both ways. But you think about AAU here in the United States. That's pretty much almost professional as well. Them boys get it in. They train seriously. So you think about the players overseas, they can't compare it to the NBA. So yeah, he played when he was young and everything, but the competition is so much better here in the United States, and he's held his own. Now, is he the next LeBron James? Is he the next Larry Bird? I cannot say that. I don't know. But I know he's formidable.
I think he can be, but I just want to see it.
But just like they needed pieces around them, he needs pieces.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the pieces there right now. And I don't care who it is. Nobody can lead that group of Mavericks much farther than he's done so far.
Yeah, that's true. That's facts.
You think
Wes,
about every year, it's been progressive.
We can't hear you, Wes. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Wes.
Nah. Nathan.
Nothing.
Negative. Yeah.
So you think he's overrated?
No, it's not a matter of being overrated.
I still think there's more for. I think, of course, there's more for any player at his age to learn. And one of the things about European basketball doesn't teach defense. You know, that has not been a focus. That's just not a focus for them. They teach skills, and all their players are skilled, but they really don't teach defense. That's not something they focus on.
You live and direct.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Nah, I mean, I don't disagree that he doesn't have the pieces around him, but Trae Young didn't have pieces either. and he got to the seventh game of a final. I'm not saying Trae Young is better than him, but he takes more heat than Luka does for not playing defense because he's small. And Luka doesn't even. I mean, Trae Young doesn't look bad. I watched like 3 games this week. I mean, this series, and it's not about like James Harden doesn't play defense, right? Because he doesn't want to. Luka doesn't even know how to. He misses simple switches. His head is on a swivel on the court. Like he doesn't even know where he belongs. And I kind of think that that's still kind of a problem. You can't just overlook that because he scores 40. If Wiggin, who is one of the probably the least aggressive playoff players we ever seen, drops 29 and Luka scores 40, Luka really scored 11. To be honest with you. So because
Wiggins is an all-star this year.
Yeah, but he's an all-star because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are hurt. I'm just saying.
That's semantics.
It is, but
that means like he's an all-star because Jordan retired.
He had a good season. I'm not discounting Wiggins' season, but what I'm saying is when your man scores as many points as you do, you really didn't do anything. That's all I'm saying.
Trae Young too.
That's what I'm saying. Trae Young did the same thing, and he got criticized.
But he got get criticized for it. Like
he got criticized for
it.
Right. But Wes, when you were disconnected for that moment, I was saying in the European academies they don't teach defense.
Well, they don't teach defense in AAU either. All the training they do in AAU, they don't teach defense there either.
Right, and that's a knock on players coming out of AAU and why the European players are taking over because they're coming in more fundamentally sound.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's
AAU not teaching defense. I think that's based on coaches and programs.
That's true. But you're right. I will take back.
Most kids know how, or at least learn how to play defense here in America at some point during their development. In Europe, they're just teaching the offensive skills. And remember, Europe traditionally has been known for just playing a lot of zone.
Yeah.
Man-to-man defenses and what they, focus on. So he has some catching up to do defensively. And if he has the will,
he's playing Golden State Warriors. It's hard to play defense on the boys.
Yeah,
it ain't easy.
He move the ball. Come on.
Listen, he got the right coach. Jason Kidd first of all, you've seen, his maturation this year and how much improved he is from last year. And the Kidd effect is going to be great for that kid, no doubt.
Jason Kidd is going to. I think Luka's going to be great. But I'm saying that if you simplify the game, and we've all tried to play the game at some level at some point. First of all, no one wants to be on the court. I don't care how good you are or aren't. No one wants to be on the court watching somebody dribble for half the possession. They all want to touch the ball. That's the first thing. Yeah. Second of all, defensively, like I said, he's got to pick it up. I think he's smart enough to do that, but I think he spends a lot of time whining with the referees at 22 years old, which I can't stand. Every play is not a bad call. And, the crowd thing, that's his moxie. I can't take that away from that man because that man, that's what motivates him. He likes to engage with the away crowd, which is cool. He got a lot of swagger with him. But he's got to pick it up on that end because it becomes contagious for your players around you. Even if they're role players, they want to play harder when the best player on the team plays a little bit of defense.
Yeah, that's
he plays just as much defense as LeBron James plays too.
Well, LeBron James, LeBron James at 35, 36, 37. Yes. LeBron James at 26, 27, 28. No. 23, 24, 25. No. Stop it, y'all.
Well, listen, LeBron at 23, 24, 25 wasn't a good defender at all.
LeBron has never played defense. He's had some great defensive plays throughout his career.
That's it. He's not a great defensive player. He's not a great defensive player. Not at all.
Let's not act like he was all defensive team at 25, 26 years old.
Yeah,
he wasn't Luke either. He wasn't Luke.
He wasn't Luke.
He wasn't James Harden. He wasn't a lot of niggas. He was
all those defensive plays come after he get beat. Okay. And he takes them back down.
How old was he against OKC when Kevin Durant tried to go baseline on him and he was like, nah, nigga, you're not getting baseline and no, you're not shooting up over me. What year was that? How old was he?
He's in the NBA. He should be able to
Yeah.
To be
like
able to take
Luka
one
is
defensive-
what we're saying about Luka. Exactly.
Luka has blocked
No,
shots
Luka's far
too.
worse. Luka's absolutely far worse, I think. But
Thank
he's gonna get better, and he got better
Yeah.
this year.
Better.
Yeah.
I
He
think
got
he's gonna
better.
get
He got better at the
better.
end of this year.
For
I think he's
sure,
gonna
for
get
sure.
better.
Yeah, I just want
Yeah,
you
he has gotten better.
Well, I mean,
We can't kill a 22-year-old kid who's never
Exactly.
done it.
No,
and
I'm not.
Never
I'm
never
not
been
killing-
asked to do it.
I'm not killing a 23-year-old man. Luke is a really good player. Just can't crown him too soon. That's all.
I don't think that he's
I
being
don't know if
crowned too
anybody-
soon.
Oh,
You know who
man,
crowned
dog.
him?
I
They
think Ja
can't-
Morant
They can't
might
wait,
be the face.
bro. They hoping Luca
Who crowned
gets to. Man, they are
crowned him?
praying. They're praying that Luca.
Hawk, who crowned him? Your guy, LeBron James, is the one who actually crowned him.
Yeah, right. Just like Jordan crowned LeBron. Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Jordan crowned Kobe.
Jordan crowned
Nah.
Kobe.
He crowned LeBron too. Ron Artest talks about that game when they had
He
all
also-
NBA players in there, and it was like,
Jordan,
next.
But that was
Jordan
behind
had-
closed doors.
hey,
Publicly
hey,
crowned
hey,
Kobe.
hey.
crowned
All
Kobe.
right. No, I mean, Kobe is just the splitting image of Mike, and he just executed it. So you can't front on Kobe. Nobody's trying to. I'm just saying.
He also
Yep.
crowned Grant Hill. He also
Your
crowned
man,
Penny
your man
Hardaway.
LeBron.
Yeah, but, I mean, barring injury, them two doesn't mean.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was-
barring
he was
injury.
great.
And,
No,
and
I'm saying
what's the dude
Jordan
that he
did that.
drafted at Washington?
Oh Lord.
Oh,
Kwame
Kwame
Brown.
Brown.
He'll crown him too. So
No, actually, Jordan.
He ain't crowned
As per Kwame Brown, Jordan
he
didn't
crowned him and took it back.
he didn't crown him at all. He gave him a.
But
You know what-
your
you know what,
man
though?
LeBron crowned this kid publicly. You know, on Twitter, I believe it is. You can't take that back. That's there forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's politics involved. You just,
Oh,
it's just right. It's just politics involved. Just playing that game.
You know, it's
The chestnut checkers, gentlemen. Chestnut checkers.
So let me ask you a question. So what does the Lakers need to do about Westbrook?
Westbrook.
keep him and trade LeBron.
That's what I said.
Keep him and trade LeBron.
Yeah,
That's what I said. Same thing.
For who?
I don't know.
They like these turnovers, boy. Ooh, they like these turnovers. Hot apple turnovers for everybody.
I like
these
effort.
turnovers.
I don't like finger pointers, but that's
Did-
another
did-
story.
I mean,
Magic-
38 and 6, bro.
Hey,
Come on, bro.
I've seen
Come on,
stats
bro.
before, Hawk.
Come
I've
on,
seen
man.
stats before. I've seen
Missed
a lot of
30
stats.
games, missed 27 games.
I've seen a lot of stats,
Come on,
man.
man.
It's all good.
This nigga missed 27 games, came back like he missed nothing.
I've seen a lot of stats.
Because he was healthy about 15 games prior. He probably sat out another 10 games just to chill.
Exactly.
I think that LeBron is a great player.
Absolutely.
I don't think that he has altered his game as much as he wanted Westbrook to alter his game as well.
Woo, yes, sir.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
I think that was one of the biggest things. You can't. I mean, and I'm not a big Westbrook fan. I think he has a great motor. He goes hard, but I don't think that. I think he needed to change his game as well. And we all know about the riff he had with the coach preseason. How he didn't like the way the coach wanted the team to be ran. That sends a negative vibe. And you're supposed to be a point guard, but if you got your power forward dribbling the ball, and LeBron pounds the ball, 20 seconds out the shot clock and then pass the ball. It's like, come on, man. Like, get the team involved. That's why I go to say I love the Warriors because they pass that rock.
They sure do.
Move the ball.
They move the ball.
And you got to think about it. Everybody in the NBA.
Notice how Luka is coaching. Lakers, LeBron, it's his fault.
No.
Same point.
Nobody said that.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. There's 300 players in the NBA, right? Every one of them got game. I don't care what you say. All
That's
300 can ball.
That's right.
So if I'm playing with LeBron, I know he's good, but I'm good too. Give me the rock too. I think that
Absolutely.
happens a lot in a lot of the teams while they have why they lose a lot, especially like with Brooklyn. You know, Kyrie and Kevin, them boys can ball, but the other guys like, yo, if I'm getting the ball twice out of the quarter, it's gonna be hard for me to really go hard on defense the whole quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
That's the same.
Except we saw Russell Westbrook with no LeBron James for 30 games. And looking at him during those games, turnover machine, bro. Like, it's just he's a turnover machine.
But that was no difference from his other years in the league. He's always averaged turnovers, high turnovers. He's been a high turnover guy. What we're saying, what Dennis is saying, what Dennis is saying is that if you want a system to work and a team to be a team, everybody's going to have to adjust and adapt, not just one player. And what they were asking of Westbrook, you adapt and adjust your game for the sake of all of us, nobody else. And that's not going to work. Everybody has to make adjustments.
And LeBron should have averaged, honestly, on some real tip, he should have averaged maybe 20 points a game this season.
I think that was the goal, but AD didn't show up.
But he still had other players. I mean, I don't know. Well,
what other players he's limited. There's nobody on that team. Malik Monk came.
I don't think they ever got any of those
as much as he could, but
I don't think they ever got any of those other guys' confidence to the point where they felt like they could contribute. Because we saw there early on, there were times when Malik Monk played well. They brought in Wayne Ellington, who is just a shooter, but really never gave him opportunity.
Never got to shoot. He never shot.
Yeah, they didn't play Wayne Ellington.
So that to me
happens to DeAndre Jordan.
I think what's the face? Tucker.
Horton
Tucker. Yeah, Horton Tucker. I think THT. I think he was a disappointment the first half of the year, especially. It took him a long time to really. And I think they were trying to get him going. He never materialized like I think the expectations were.
Yeah, but we gotta remember the early part.
Go ahead, Cliff.
Yeah, but the early part of the season, we gotta remember, fellas, they were switching up their rotations and their lineups every game. They didn't get anything straight. I mean, that was the big talk. Like going into like 20, 25 games in. So it was a bad fit, yo. It was a bad mix.
And then you gotta put guys in position to be effective. And nobody on that team was put in a position to be effective.
No.
Well, their game plan from the beginning was you get the rebound, we push it, right? That was the game plan. And I think it was great. They had a lot of horses. But then Westbrook was like, nah, that's not how I play. So if I don't get the ball, I'm not playing. So it became cancerous, and they had to try and move around because I think THT was like, this is my coming out year. I'm gonna have the ball more. I'm gonna be able to, and then it was like, now we got Westbrook who doesn't want to get the ball until he has no choice but to, or to pass his stats. And there's a lot of people who say he passed his stats, and I don't know about that. I think it's really challenging to get to have a triple double.
I think two things could be true at the same time. I think it is really challenging, and I think you could be padding your stats. Yeah, as many a times it's like, what's my man that played Toronto? He's what's his name? The center. I'm like, come on, man, let him get that rebound, Russ. Russ like, come on, man, give me that shit. Come on, man. Let share. And, he's trying to get his. But
and that's why it's going to be
they should
for
trade
him to win a championship.
They should trade LeBron.
Think Westbrook is going to win a championship until he's like this 8th or 9th man off the bench, where he's really passes prime, and he's a Gary Payton for the Heat. I don't see him leading the team to a championship.
Yeah,
and that's why they should have played him from the start. I said that at the beginning of the season that he would be a better bench player than he would be playing with LeBron. That would be.
Yeah, but he wasn't going.
He wasn't going for it, but I mean, it's like that's where he's going to win. like Dennis said, that's where he'll be most effective off the bench in this NBA.
people get older, their athleticism wanes. Like how much of it is just, you're getting older and your style of game is hard to execute the older you get. The speed.
I definitely think that's a part of it. But see, I go back to the fact that Russell Westbrook was never a point guard. And you
Yep.
can't expect him to be a point guard. He was just always athletic. And he pushed the ball, he played really hard. That was it. He was never a point guard. And the only reason he's a point guard in the NBA is because he can't play the two guard because he can't shoot a lick. So he was forced into a position that he isn't mentally or basketball IQ equipped to play.
Absolutely.
So to that point, let's assume we trade LeBron. Not we, excuse me, no disrespect, y'all. Y'all trade LeBron and you build around Westbrook. What do you do?
Well, you got to build it around AD.
Yeah.
That's really who you're building around, AD. I mean, I know, and that's like you biting your fingernails. You biting your fingernails on that.
I mean, that's building around a house of cards.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna fall down. It's gonna fall.
A glass house of cards.
Tariq, Buzz. Yeah, Tariq, I agree. Get rid of Westbrook.
I just don't think it's possible.
You said get rid of LeBron. You said get rid of LeBron. You said earlier. Now it's get rid of Westbrook.
No, I didn't say that. I said get rid of Westbrook. I think Westbrook should go. I don't think that. I mean, I'd rather get rid of Westbrook than get rid of LeBron.
Well, I mean,
I would rather get rid of Westbrook.
We'd rather get rid of Westbrook. We don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I think you could get more for LeBron than you can get for Westbrook at this stage.
So what about the talk about Zach LaVine coming from Chicago?
For who?
Well, they're saying listening to Shannon, my other guy. He said Zach's deal is up at sometime soon, and it's like, do you not get rid of him and let him walk, or do you
do a sign and trade?
Whatever that is.
I mean, you can shed some of Westbrook's salary, but LaVine, he gets hurt a lot too. Zach gets hurt every season.
Yeah, he does. He does. He does.
But who wants Westbrook?
That's what I'm saying. Who wants Westbrook?
Nobody.
For that ticket, you know what I'm saying? If he was making 20, and it's funny, these players are now making 40, 47 million a year. When Kobe put his foot down, was like, yo, I want 25 a year. Yeah. Like, oh, he's selfish. I was like, oh, you really want 25? Hell yeah.
Can I just, to that point, seeing as though you do have on a Brooklyn cap, and you said selfish. Should Kyrie Irving get max dollars?
No. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But it has to be some clauses in there. It has to be some clauses.
It has just playing clauses. Just keep it simple. Just
you gotta
come to work.
Play a certain amount of games.
You just gotta come to work, yo.
Yep.
Just gotta come to work. That's it, yo.
But here's another thing with Kyrie. I think Kyrie is dope, but there's a lot of times we shot the ball way more than KD, and that can never happen. That can never happen.
I agree with you, but also the kind of person KD is and the kind of player he is, it can work. And
Kyrie's your point guard.
It can work because of the way their relationship is, the way their chemistry is. It can work.
But they lose when it happens.
And they've won some too when it happens. But I agree that KD should always take the most shots, but KD isn't a volume shooter either.
Doesn't need to be.
He it's almost like he refuses to be that guy who's going to take the most shots, and he's extremely efficient, of course. And for the most part, Kyrie is efficient too, but you're right. There are times when he shoots more than KD, and it's like, all right, why are we doing this? KD should always lead the team in shots. I think he should be probably second in rebounding on the team as well.
He needs to up his rebounding as well. And Kyrie should be averaging at least eight assists a game.
Right. And Kyrie should up his assists. Yes. Yes. And they're both capable of doing those things. But for
You think
whatever
Ben
reason,
Simmons is going to be the difference?
I hope so. I hope so.
I think he will be. I think he's going to fit perfectly with him. But the question is going to be obviously, what is he going to come? What is he going to look like? I mean, has he been balling? Does he still have the passion for it? I mean, like, there's so many question marks going to be about. Hopefully, he can just slide back in, but because his game matches them perfectly. What they need, what he can add to that team, just as a playmaker. But those two cats, I mean,
yeah, he's the perfect complement to them. But you said passion. I don't know if he ever had the passion.
So that's what I'm saying.
For him to get it.
But that's my point, Coach, because we don't really think he's ever had it. So after all he's just been recently going through, what is he gonna literally come back looking like? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so much, joy and everything else has been taken out of the game. I mean, he's been sitting on the sideline and just been getting clowned for that, and not gonna stop getting clowned until he starts to play. When is that gonna be? Is his back gonna heal? It's just all these question marks, and like we've all agreed on, he's a perfect fit. Yeah. So. Is he going to walk in with that pressure? You know what I'm saying? Not live up to it? It's going to be real, interesting to see how it all plays out.
Dennis, what's your take on Ben Simmons?
He has no Brooklyn energy at all. There's nothing. He's not best die, do or die at all.
I think like that a Utah vibe, right?
Yeah, I think he's softer than Baby Dimes. His skill set when he's engaged would be great for them. I think he's a great match with them, even better than Harden. But I feel that it all depends on where his mindset is. Is he really ready to ball? Is he willing to take punches? It's like, look, if you have a bad game, which he did in the playoffs last year, or it was last year before, whatever, and everyone is beating down on you. Dog, you still made more than $20 million that year. That's part of it. Yep. You can call me whatever you want to call me if you give me $20 million.
Yeah.
So, his heart, even when he was in college, his shit was questionable. So he has a history of not, having the toughness to maintain what it takes. And so maybe this is the stop that, he's like, okay, I'm ready. My back is healed. There's no excuses now, but we just never know. And then I think, honestly, they need a better coach. They need
a better coach.
Wow. Word.
But the thing that worries me about the whole back thing is we've seen time and time again, athletes that have back surgery just don't come back the same. And even if they do, even if they, gut it out, it's really tough. This is not a kid who's shown he can gut anything.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Him and guts don't even sound.
So that's the scary part about it. He's not going to be able to do it because he's going to have back pain. I don't care what the surgery is, the pounding of an NBA season. The pain is going to be there. He's going to have that the rest of his life.
Yeah,
it's not somebody who guts it out or works through pain or aches or soreness. It even seems like So
can I bounce over to what Dennis said about needing a new coach, and how do we get to that point in the first place?
Well, the team managers, KD, Kyrie, Sean Marks, and Joe Tsai, going to sit down and they need to get together and say, we need a new coach.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way it happens, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think the only way it happens is a terrible start to the season. They really think they stack it up. They go in with high hopes. Kyrie's committed. Everything looks great. And they just start off terrible. And coaching mistakes is the glaring weakness. That's the only reason. And obviously those two say something publicly or whatever.
I think that they stood up for Nash because he was a pushover, so they can really control the team. And Kyrie said something, in the media as far as like, we'll determine how we'll do next year. He didn't mention Steve Nash.
Not
So
at all.
Steve
you catch that?
placeholder.
Yeah, he said KD. He said KD, Sean, and Joe. We'll sit down, and I think everybody in the world was like, "What?" One, you didn't name the coach. Two, you named two players who are sitting down with the owner and GM,
including yourself.
Yeah. So
Cappy,
I don't know if the Brooklyn Nets is sold on Kyrie, bro. I don't know if they sold. He might not.
Well,
be
here's
Brooklyn,
the other
too much
part of
longer.
the coaching thing. I think outside of Kyrie and his nonsense, they have 7 players who are unsigned that they got to bring back. You're looking at possibly a new team.
Oh yeah,
I would trade Kyrie for Levine and a pick, and maybe and Patrick Williams. I would do that trade.
I would do that.
Because you can't trade him for Westbrook, because Westbrook and KD don't want to play together. I don't know if Kyrie and LeBron wants to play together again. That wouldn't be great.
I think they would play together again, but Russell and KD, I don't think will happen.
No. I mean, JT, what's up? You say Kyrie's anti-establishment. So honestly, when Kyrie came out about not wanting to get vaccinated, I felt he was very selfish and blah, blah, blah. And but then when I thought about it, I'm like, I understand where he comes from and how he feels. And, it's his own preference. And honestly, everybody that wants to get vaccinated, I support 1,000%. And everybody that doesn't want to get vaccinated, I support 1,000%. But I feel that when he came back, he played well. But it's something about Kyrie that's like, I feel like he could take it or leave it. He's content with himself to where he could take it or leave it. And I've seen some interviews with him that I really, I think he's a very smart person. I feel he has that Kanye syndrome to where he doesn't think before he speaks. And their intent is not wrong, but the way it comes, the delivery is off. Yeah.
Not well flushed out.
Yeah, I just think you're right. I do believe he can take it or leave it. I think what has made it more difficult at this point for him to leave it is Nike is off the table right now.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that to fall back on. So he's probably got to play. He probably needs this max contract. Not need. Let me say. Let me take that back.
Yeah,
shit right now. But he probably wants this max contract now because Nike is over. I think he's the modern day Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I truly believe that. With a lot of his stances, being anti-establishment, people not understanding them. When he speaks, is taken the wrong way. Media has, I think, just Stephen A. Smith has really a hard on for this kid for whatever reason. And I just remember Kareem went through a lot of the same things, similar things, and Kareem was the best player in the game at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
but Kareem showed up.
Yeah. I mean, he showed up to work every day. And if Kyrie could just get past that part of it, if he could just show up to work every day, I think that shuts a lot of the.
I don't think that ever really happens in that. Because he's a man of principle that he sets for himself.
Before you go on with that, Hakeem, Kawhi Leonard didn't show up for a whole year, and I'm not talking about this year. In San Antonio, he literally did not show up for a whole year because he didn't want to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
I mean, all right, I got you, but when you make an investment in somebody, you're hoping that person, they said, comes to work.
100%.
because I can't get a return on my investment. You know,
Right.
and I don't know who told me this, and I, you know, it could be off, but because they missed, you know, they got knocked out of the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they lost
50 to 400. You told me that 50 to 100 million. Like that's revenue that we have to pay you with.
Yeah.
Because now the owner has to go in his pocket.
Right. I got so you know if it's dollars and cents, if it's about business, right, and you will take a stance on me. You're telling me, listen, I'm gonna take a stance and not show up. I'm gonna pay you max dollars.
Well, and then look about it. It's also his history. It is not just this season. It's the season before. He's taking time off where he needed emotional break. You know, there's times, you know, so it's been a pattern. If this is the only season that happened, then it's different.
Well, he didn't come to work and didn't call nobody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take y'all further back. Kyrie hasn't played a full season of basketball since his
AAU.
No, not even. It's his
fifth grade.
Senior year of high school, he actually played a full season.
Wow.
His junior year, he did not. You know, before that, as a freshman and sophomore, he actually did. But his junior year, he did not. His senior year, he did. But his team wasn't allowed in the state playoffs. And then in college, remember, he played 11 games.
Just at Duke, yeah, that's it.
And still was the number one pick. So if you look at it, he almost doesn't have an incentive to ever play a full season because he's reaped rewards for not.
Right.
Yeah, but you're talking about 3 years. 3 years of possible, 250 games close to? And Kyrie's only played 130 of them. No, I'm sorry. He's missed 130 games.
Missed 130,
yeah. Before we go on, let me just give us a salute and shout out to JT, who's in the building every week. My homie from the hometown, East Orange, New Jersey, Thurman James is in the building. Tariq Buzz, my brother, you already know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rob is in the building, Robert Swinney Jr. So I just want to shout y'all out. Thank you for tuning in. We got the homie Dennis L.A. White in the building. IZM Sports talking about Kyrie and all type shenanigans.
Did anybody see his I Am Athlete interview?
I still haven't watched it. I know you told me to watch it.
That's with who's the host on that?
Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, I saw that. That.
It was I think enlightening for a lot of people.
Definitely.
And he look, the kid is misunderstood, and you know, but there's still some things there that as an employee, as an adult, you're expected to do.
Come to work.
Not that you must do them. That's the other thing. We think you must come to work. That's not necessarily true.
No, you don't have to. Nobody got a gun in their head saying show up. No, you don't have to.
You don't have to. You know.
But
when you're expecting max dollars, you should come to work.
You should, if you're trying to win a ring, you should come to work too. Like that's the goal is to win a ring.
That's
why you get
here's the thing.
He hasn't said he wanted max dollars. He hasn't been campaigning.
Yeah, he hasn't said he wanted max dollars.
He hasn't said that. He already has a ring, which was by the luck of his chinny chin chin.
Yep.
But he has a ring, so I feel like he's like, I'm pimping the system. I'm making crazy amount of money. I'm famous. People know me. I'm doing what I want to do. If you don't want to pay me max dollars, I'll go somewhere else. And trust me, if he goes to Orlando, they'll give him max dollars.
Somebody's going to give him max dollars.
Brooklyn, he's going to get max dollars.
That's crazy. That's just you don't want to. You have the opportunity to win a ring, and you like whatever. I'll do this shit.
That's like a dude dating a bad chick. She bad. Oh, she bad. And he cheating on her. He's treating her like shit. People are like, how can you do that? Like I get him all the time. I'm cool.
But
that's how he feels.
Right. But okay, look at so we have a team, and part of the reason why we have a team is because we made personal commitments to each other, right? And we rearrange our lives and our careers to achieve something, not for just ourselves as individuals, but for the team, because that's a commitment. So maybe that didn't happen. Maybe I'm just disillusioned, and him and KD decided to go to Brooklyn. Okay, that could be disillusion. I'm just buying into the story. Okay, I got you, but KD doesn't care.
I think KD, see, and this is my problem with KD. He's the one person that can sit Kyrie down and say, "Yo, we came here to do something. Let's get it done."
Yeah, because they can't speak like Westbrook and say they didn't come to Brooklyn with expectations to bring a ring. They wanted to do their thing in Brooklyn.
Yes,
and
as
they
opposed
want to do
to
it together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
so
you know what I mean. Like I leave Golden State off the Achilles joint. I didn't get the ring that year. People questioned my G because they say you escaped OKC to Golden State. That's fugazi. I'm trying to go somewhere else where I can prove that it's me. I'm the one doing this. I'm going to Brooklyn. Kyrie, that's the perfect matchup. He's the best at what he does, ladies and gentlemen. I am not fronting on Kyrie Irving as a basketball player. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
I know what it is, but the greatest ability is
availability.
And
I think something, Dennis, that you said about him kind of pimping the system. Kyrie might have pimped KD in a way. He got KD to come to Brooklyn with him and is not supporting him and doing what it takes for them to actually win the championship.
I think him and Harden got into it. I only they clicked.
Oh no, they definitely got into it.
So just to let you know, Dennis, we noticed. Well, first there was rumors that they played a one-on-one,
and that's Kyrie.
Kyrie embarrassed them.
Yeah,
embarrassed them. That's part of what got him up out of there. And then we watched that first Brooklyn Philly game in Philly, and Kyrie put a defense on James Harden that had his mind boggled. And he wasn't the same after that. Like, he got the Phillies, he put up a 40-point game. I think he had like a maybe 20-some-odd point game. Played Brooklyn, and it was like, nah, he's just shook from then on out. So to your point, we think that Kyrie and James, there was something going on that got James up out of there.
Remember, I've told you how that's Kyrie's thing. He feels like he's the best player on the team because one-on-one, he will line anybody up and he will beat them. And as long as he can do that, he's like, yo, you can't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Not good for team, but
that's where like the point I thought it was to win a chip, to get to the championship and to get it home as a team.
That's what it's supposed to be. And I think KD is the only one who can be like, yo, bro.
Well, I can't remember who said it. It might have been Jalen Rose. He said there's certain players that play to win a championship and certain players that play to get a check. And some players don't care about winning a championship. That's not even in their bandwidth. Yeah. And you see a lot of times, you see players on the sideline and during the game looking at their stats, looking to see how many. I got 5 rebounds. I need 3 more.
Yeah.
Oh, I only got 12 points. I need to hit 15. And you see them the next quarter they outgunning or so and I get it. The more points you get, you might have incentives in your contract, but the bottom line is this is a team sport.
Yes.
I mean, his contract is just going to have to stipulate, look, you got to play 72 games or you lose this many million. And it can't be 1 to 3 million. Yo, you lose $10 million.
Yeah, $15, $20 million hit. Yeah,
it's got to be a hit, Yeah. And look, I think Nike showed him like, yo, you not going to just be out here not playing. And his sneaker is the #1 selling sneaker for Nike.
And don't get it twisted. That could just be a short-term play because once he commits, because Sean Marks went on record saying he's going to commit to. So once they lock him in and whatever, it's
I think Nike come back around because they know
because at least they know he'll be on the court. Yeah,
right. Yep,
that's crazy. That's crazy. Now, switch the conversation. Is Joel Embiid trying to get to Miami?
That's what it sounds like. But look at the optics of what's going on though in Philly, because it looks like Doc is getting ready to get fired. It looks like your boy
Dan Antony.
Antony, no D Antony. It looks like he's getting ready to get that gig, and it looks like they're going to try to build that around, because James Harden is going to get that max, that extension. So why would Joel Embiid want to be in any part of that?
Yeah, that to me is a mess.
So y'all think James Harden gonna get max dollars, yo?
He shouldn't, but he will.
Really?
Daryl Morey loves him.
He ain't gonna opt out. I know that.
Yo, everybody's saying James Harden should not get the max deal.
He shouldn't.
What everybody's reporting.
He should
be horrible.
He should restructure like a CP3 did. That's what he should do.
I think that's what he's going to do.
But I don't know.
I think what Harden's going to do this year, I think this summer, I hope this is what he's going to do. He's going to work his ass off, get in shape, step his game up, and come back in, going hard.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Because remember, his game was predicated on getting to the free throw line between 15 plus times a game. They changed the rule. So now he has to change his game. If he's committed to doing that, which he has in the past, the step back and all that, he just made part of his game and it changed the game. If he's committed to doing that this summer, then maybe.
What do you think of all
sharing the ball, playing defense, all that stuff.
Defense,
all that. Like, he's got to transform his whole game at 33 years old, 34 years old.
That's why I wouldn't give him the max.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's old, and he's like, you're gonna be locked into a 4 or 5 year deal. This guy 37, 38 years old. Like, you're gonna be paying him this money, and he's already hitting the wall. Okay, he recovers 1 year. I'm still locked in for another 3-4 years with this guy.
Yeah.
And that fourth year is at 60 mil, just so you know. Yeah. That's how his max accelerates. So
that's crazy.
It ain't worth it.
No.
Definitely worth it.
And that's the other problem with Westbrook, as far as you think about the great players in history, they've evolved their game. And Westbrook hasn't, like, he should have been working on his jump shot. He should have opened up his game
from day one. Yeah,
from day one. Especially when he was going to the Lakers, because he had to change his game up. Harden, he needed to work on his defense. So I mean, and I like Carmelo Anthony as a person, but he needed to advance his game, and they showed him, like, look, dog, we don't have room for an older player who's a black hole who don't play no defense.
Yeah.
And so he had to change. Still wasn't enough, but you have to adapt to what's going on in the system and in the league.
The problem with all those guys is they gonna get paid no matter what.
Yeah.
And until an owner, and collectively, actually, the owners get together and say, we not gonna pay these guys until they develop their games and they meet certain criteria of playing games, then it's never going to work, because there's always going to be an owner saying, well, yeah, he ain't pay you, but I'm going to pay you, and I'm going to take you as whatever you do. And that's all up, because as long as
there's a lot of teams that Harden can go to.
Yeah,
I would love to have him.
Yeah.
Such as, who you think would be a good fit for James Harden if he didn't stay in Philly?
Denver would love to have him. I think that he can.
They got room. They got room. They just, Michael Porter got a big contract not too long ago. You got
trade bait. I mean, I would trade Michael Porter for Harden. Wouldn't you?
And not only that, what I like about that, Dennis,
Um,
is I think Joker would smack the shit out of Harden if he tried any of the stuff that he's tried over the past few years.
Facts. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. I think James Harden at this point is James Harden. It's like Russell Westbrook is Russell Westbrook. That's just who they are. And you're gonna pay him to deal with the shenanigans or not. It's the history. You look team to team to team. It's the same thing. You know, people are who they are, and you know.
You can always banish a player to Sacramento.
Yeah, yes, it's true. That's real. That's real. They got long money.
Yeah, Sacramento would take them. Orlando, New York. I think the Knicks would take them. Detroit. There's a lot of teams that would be like, let's go. Now, will they win a championship? No. I mean, I don't even know with Portland how he would do a Portland, him and Damian. That would be interesting.
Nah,
that would be interesting.
James Harden with Damian Lillard.
That'd be interesting. I think they would straight up fight, like literally on the
Word.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, so who you got, Dennis, in the chip? Who you got?
Golden State Warriors.
Golden State.
Easy.
Okay.
I feel they're going to win tonight at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have the banners and everything, the celebration.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a couple, a week off to heal, get Iguodala back. Booker, not Booker, but
Peyton, hopefully. Is Peyton coming back?
He's supposed to be back for the playoffs.
Okay.
What's it? It's an Otter Porter.
Porter.
Otto
Porter.
Yeah,
Otto
have
Porter.
him back. They'll be full strength. And then, the slug out on the East, whoever left standing will have to deal with him. Now, I think that Boston is going to be very formidable because they have, I think Smart is the X factor. If Smart can lock you down and if Smart gets hot, he's hard to contain.
Yeah.
Him and Al Horford. Those are the X factors.
I agree with you.
But I'm still going to Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a 7-game series if it's against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Smart can definitely defend Steph.
Yeah.
Brown can, defend Poole or Clay, and Tatum. That Tatum-Wiggins matchup would be something else to see. How that comes about. And, Draymond's going to do what he does normally, but so is Al Horford.
Yeah.
Well, you got Kuminga. You still got some young cats on Golden State bench that's gonna. I think he's got more body, more experience, and
I just think, Golden State is so hard to beat, man.
But you look at the way Boston ran through the league.
Yeah,
in the
and
second
the way
half
they
of the
defend,
season,
man. That physical defense, man, that takes a lot out of guys. So.
Just tell him going to abuse Wiggins. Come on, JT. You from Boston? You from Brockton, JT? You from Brockton?
Yeah, right. All right, so I'm going with the Golden State Warriors myself. Cliff.
Golden State.
Okay, all right. We all in the same accord. I think.
I'm going with Celtics, man.
Oh, where you just being spiteful right now?
Yeah, I'm just going to be spiteful.
Yeah, but
you better hope the Celtics close them out tomorrow night because Miami still, they still fighting.
What's the odds looking like? See, Uncle Spliffy, aka the Zatch Master, he does our over under, he does our lines, all that stuff. So what we looking like with the numbers, bro?
Well, tonight's game it was the Golden State favored by 6.5, and over under was 215. At home tomorrow, I don't know what that is. Let me check real quick. But it was it's probably going to be Boston favored by 7 because they're going to be at home.
I was going to say Miami winning by 7. That's what I gave. I think they're going to win by 7.
Damn.
And I think Golden State going to win by 13 tonight.
Yeah, I got Boston. I got
Yeah, that
Boston.
line is.
I think.
No, I'm sorry. That line is 8.5 right now. Tomorrow, Boston's favored by 8.5 at home over Miami, and that's been the biggest spread so far.
Yeah,
But
Boston won it right now. They won it. They in Boston. They won it.
yeah, but Miami know what they got to do, and they beat them there already.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We'll see.
And I'm gonna say Dallas is going to stretch it out to 7 games. I'm just,
Being contrarian, going against the grain.
They're gonna get stomped out tonight.
All right. So before you guys, there's one more topic. I know we talked about this before, but I want to get Dennis's opinion on my man Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. How you think that's gonna go down? He got into some alleged trouble out there in Houston, and he was on ice for a bit. Deal gets done. He gets shipped out to Cleveland. Biggest deal ever. $250 guaranteed dollars. Is he going to sit for how many games? What you give him? 4, 5, 6, 8? None at all.
I don't think he's going to sit for any games. I mean, he's in the courts. He's been winning, and I think it's good for the NFL for him to play. And you got to think about all those cases came after he wanted. He tried to force his way out of Houston.
Yeah.
It's a little ironic. I mean, I'm not saying the women are lying or telling the truth, but it's a little ironic the timing when it happened. And for them to, but one thing about Cleveland, they still haven't got rid of old boy. They still got him on the payroll just in case.
They cut another guy today. Some random quarterback they had.
Yeah, their stock is stacking their odds, but I think he's gonna play. I think he might, maybe during the season if the cases go through, but I think he's gonna play at least the first 4 games at least.
Well, I know they're gonna make a decision soon, but that woman coming out recently was specifically to put some pressure on the league to do something. You know what I'm saying? They definitely released or had her come out with that statement, and she won't be the last one. Because there's 22 cases. I don't know how many have been heard, but I'm sure you may hear 1 or 2 more public outcries just because they're going to want to see some punishment done.
Do you think this dude is really like doing that to all these chicks, like sexually harassing all these chicks?
I don't think that it's to the level of what it. I think it like you said. I agree with you. It became very interesting after he requested out, and I think we were even talking about this. How they're going to try to hold him hostage, and then all these allegations came out, and nothing has been really substantiated, and everything's been thrown out. Obviously, criminal court. So, no, I think a lot of his fabrication, most of his fabrication. And I think
for Houston to keep him on the roster all last year and not play him, they kept him.
Yeah.
I think they were like, well, we're going to keep him. So hopefully one of these cases will go against him. And it didn't work. It's a cold game, man. It's a cold game.
Wow, heavy, extremely heavy. Yeah, it's just, that's some of this off the field NFL talk before the season. It's hot right now. I just want to get your take on it. But I think we share the same sentiments. It's unfortunate. And it is a cold world out there, very cold world.
Yeah, but I don't think the NFL is going to open themselves up to the scrutiny if they don't punish this cat. Yeah, I think that's why he's getting some games.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get some games.
I think he's going to get 8.
I don't know about how. I think 6. I think 6. I think if it's 4, then they went real light on him. If it's 8, they lowering the hammer on him. But I think it may be right in the middle. I think it's going to be 6.
I mean, I think they look at it like take take these 8 games so we can keep the press off our ass with this shit. We don't need nobody protesting at the front gate. We give these 8 games. We just gave you 250 guaranteed, son. Just fall back for 8 games. We got you. You know you good money. Fall on the sword. Fall on the sword.
Well, and it also depends on how Cleveland's record is. That has a lot to do with it. If they go 0-4,
they made a $250 million investment. It's for some years. They're not worried about making the Super Bowl this year.
No, what I'm saying, what I'm saying is how many games he gets suspended, and if he gets suspended. If let's say he plays, and they go 6-0. I doubt he's gonna get suspended this year.
Nah, his suspension is gonna kick in before the season starts. Wow.
Yeah, because they have their meeting before the season.
Oh, okay.
And you don't get paid while you're suspended.
Yeah.
Not to mention his salary this year is only $1 million. They did that specifically because they know the possibility of something going down this year.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, like he's gonna miss probably the first 8 games.
I just think the way the cases are going, they've all been thrown out criminal court.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is but you know, this it's not about right or wrong. It's just about the face,
public perception,
and the brand, public perception. NFL Goodell has had to take stances against sexual abuse, violence against women, like it's all types of craziness where their back has been against the wall from women's groups, and they've had to make concessions to women's groups and do certain things to kind of keep the face up. Having this guy go to Cleveland, get the money he's gotten, considering the allegations, I don't think the allegations are real, but that's just my opinion.
Of course you said they aren't real. So
right. But the fact that
at this point, they're not real.
Right, but it doesn't matter in today's climate. Is you got that mud. You got that mud on you. Got to wipe that mud off. It's just mud. People just sling. Man, you see what they doing to Cosby right now, bro? They pulled a woman that says she was sexually assaulted by Cosby in the Playboy Mansion when she was 15 with her mother there. Right now. He's in court right now. Come on, man.
I mean, it goes down in the Playboy Mansion. You been to Playboy Mansion?
Have you seen Winning Time?
Yes.
Did you see how Jerry it started in the Playboy Mansion?
Have you been to the Playboy Mansion?
Never, but
I have. It goes down in the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, come on. In the boom room.
It's serious, but I mean, I believe during that time, a lot of that stuff happened, and I don't know Cosby personally, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know, man. I just anybody that has to use any type of drugs to be intimate with any woman is a sucker, and that shit is whack. And so even if he did it to one person, it's not cool.
Yeah, I got you, but how can I say? I'm not blind because I don't get down like that. That's not what I do. And the ecstasy, no, I've never done none of that shit. That's not my movie. However, right, like you said, Playboy Mansion, the Times, Richard Pryor, Richard Pryor was, filthy. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Richard Pryor. Don't get it twisted, legend. But the atmosphere.
But it's a difference when you like. It's
the Quaalude era.
You have a drug. I'm gonna take it. Here, take this drug, as opposed to putting a drink,
being deceptive.
They don't know they have it.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yeah, I don't know that he ever did that. I've never heard him. I never saw the testimony where he said he admitted that that's what he did. It's more him going, we want this, just make you feel better. Here, you want this.
And everybody knew how he got down. He was Quaalude King. That's what he did.
Doesn't excuse it. I'm not saying excuses it. I'm saying if we're going to get Cosby, let's get everybody who fucked around like that.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers don't want to do that. It'd be some of your favorite people.
Well, I have a problem with them taking down Cosby shows and stuff like that, and they're not taking down Weinstein's movies. All his movies should be taken down.
Yeah.
but they're not going to do that.
Yeah. So, and it's not like I said, it's not to excuse anybody's wrongdoing. Sexual assault is wrong. Sexual harassment is wrong. Making people, women, men, anybody's, sexually uncomfortable or is wrong. We're not giving that the okay. We just notice a pattern in how narratives are created around certain people versus other people. That's as simple as that, And when you look at how, a Deshaun Watson is handled versus how Brett Favre is handled, it's sexual assault, sexual harassment, stalking. It was a lot of, and they don't even talk about it. It's like it never even happened.
Hey, let me
Well,
ask you
Roethlisberger.
on this point. Was Ben Roethlisberger suspended when he was going through? How many games did he get?
I want to say
I think
4.
that's 4, 6, something like that.
Yeah, I know it wasn't a lot.
So
yeah,
but
the
going to be in that range.
The press and the media around Roethlisberger was totally, most people don't even know that happened.
It was muted. Muted, and I lived in DC.
It's got to be in that same ballpark of games.
It should, but the complexion for the protection of the collection.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm torn because I know it's not right. We get punished more as opposed to our counterparts, but that's also what we know going into it. So we also know that we're looked at a different standard. So we have to act accordingly. That's one thing I do have to applaud for LeBron James. As long as he's been in the spotlight, there's nothing dirty on his jacket. You know what I'm saying? He's married, kids, he's doing his, so you have to applaud that. Even Curry, there's a lot of them that know that one wrong night with a stripper can derail everything. And I'm not saying they're clean, whatever, but they're doing it to where it doesn't come back on them because they know that they're held to a different standard than the other to their counterparts. And we have to understand that this is not our country. This is not our world. We have to understand, well, not our world, but not our country. So we are looked at differently.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Cliff, you want to add something?
No,
don't feel pressed. Don't feel pressed. It's all good. Oh man, yeah. So listen, we do this every week, Dennis. So anytime you want to come through, bro, you want to. Matter of fact, let the people know what you got going on right now, so we can follow you. People be up to date what you're doing.
All right. Well, I just shot a movie called No Better Love out in Dallas. I have a movie called Street Connected that I directed, wrote, that's coming out. I got a movie called Scam City we shot in New York that's coming out the end of the summer. Trap City with Brandon T. Jackson coming out end of the summer. I got like 3 or 4 more movies. Pros and Cons is coming out this summer. I got a lot of movies coming out. Also, once again, I teach acting, and I have an acting workshop that we're doing live in Atlanta next month. If you want to contact me and find me, I'm at Dennis L.A. White on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Black Planet. No, it's funny. But yeah, so follow me. I'll follow you back. My website is atlikeyouKnow.org. And so, just been working and just building a legacy and loving Black culture and loving what we do.
Nice. Yeah, fellas, you want to throw a question at the brother before we let him go?
Nah, just been following your career and love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Keep it up. Doing your thing.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah. And before we close out, want to send another big shout out to everybody who tunes in week in, week out. JT, you know what it is. Thurman, Tariq Buds, everybody that checks in with IZM Sports, episode 71. We out here, gentlemen.
A quick shout out though. We need to keep hope alive for Brittany. Yo, she's still. I think it's going on 100 days right now, and we started talking about this months ago. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, what can be done?
Well, I know
Call your
there's
senator, call your congressman.
the
You know,
senators. Yeah.
tell them to put pressure
Yeah, there
on
you
the State
go.
Department to get something done.
Well, I know they had a petition that was going on just for the wife to get a sit down with Joe Biden. So I know you can go and sign that petition to at least make sure that happens. But yeah, anything
Man,
else?
it's unfortunate that none of that stuff is going to work. It's the truth. None of that talking to your politician, petitions, all that is not going to work. Only is going to work is the war ending, or they're trading her for
Yeah,
an
it's got to be a
asset that we
trade.
have.
Yeah, it's got to be a
And
trade.
that's really the only thing that's going to work, or unless Russia's just like, here, you can have her back. But they don't respect the politicians. That's not going to work. It's unfortunate. She's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and we pray for her. But it's nothing that unfortunately, I hate to say that we can do as a public. We can talk about it, but Biden knows she's over there. I'm sure Biden.
And they know the asset that they have to give up to get her back, and
Mhm.
they're just not willing at this point.
I don't know. Yeah, man, he got an arms dealer, a major arms dealer, and it's like she's a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Biden said, Biden needs to go get her. I'm like,
But
Biden
what I
can't
do see in all of that, Dennis,
that's the
is a
worst.
movie.
That's the
I'm
last
just gonna
person.
throw that out there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the greatest movie ever
I'm
told.
just throwing that out there, Dennis.
We just want to we just want to make sure homegirl is here healthy to enjoy the proceeds of it. Because man, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
You
it's a story to tell.
imagine, bro? You imagine?
Uh,
I mean, even Loon, his experience of being overseas in the Middle East and we was in Libya or one of the Muslim countries. He did
and Lou was my brother, and so
whoa, Lord have mercy.
His story is really, really crazy. And we contact each other when he first got locked up and everything, and he was doing a documentary, which is ironic as well. He was in a documentary on the evils of the entertainment industry, and he was in the middle of that, and that's when he got incarcerated. So, but he's home, he's back, but he was out there for a while.
Yeah,
he's out there for a while.
Yeah, I love seeing him because he's doing some really good things, working with feeding homeless people.
Yeah,
like he's getting his hands dirty, doing some real strong activism work, and I'm loving seeing him out there. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. But this is IZM Sports, ladies and gentlemen, episode 71.
Yeah.
With the great Dennis L.A. White. Yo, we out of here. Peace.
Ladies, thanks for tuning in. I got some ladies that's watching. I appreciate y'all. Love.
Love.
Peace.
Peace.